Do you know what I mean? It's the most incredible positive feedback, and it's really nice to be able to tell each person that comes up to me that I appreciate the fact that they're here and that they're supportive and that they wanted to come out and meet me. So it's overwhelming, but at the same time, it feels like one of the better things that I've done. It feels great.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're such a nice person, and like you're so sweet, which is kind of mind-boggling because you always seem to play really mean and vicious characters. So do you purposely choose those roles because it's so opposite of who you really are, or are you just chosen to be that person in the film?
I found that being the opposite of myself was so liberating and so very freeing because I'm non-confrontational to a fault. I literally don't ever want anyone's feelings hurt. I just want to go with the flow all the time. So for me to be the opposite of that was cathartic.
Has there ever been a role that you've done which has it made an impact on you personally that you couldn't really shake off, that kind of stayed with you after the camera stopped rolling? And if so, which character was that?
Strangely, it was Gretchen from Prison Break because I did most of that stunt work myself and a lot of it stayed with me. I decided my best thinking at the time was they'll know if it's not me being waterboarded, so I should be waterboarded. I'm glad that I only have to make that mistake one time in my life because that was awful and I dreamt about it for quite a while afterwards. Yeah, it was really scary.
So from then on, do you get other people to do your stunts for you, or do you still do it?
I do as much as I possibly can, but if it's something along those lines, I take a hard pass. No thank you anymore. I don't need ever to have a towel stuffed in my mouth and water on my face or saran wrap and being flipped upside down in a chair. I never need to do that again. I've done it. So I've got that covered. Yeah.
Now, before you were an actress, you actually started off as modelling, which was like really surprising because you were only 8 years old.
I was very small. It was really to save money for school.
At 8 years old?
My older sister was a model. She's 6 foot tall, stunningly beautiful, naturally blonde, the kind of woman where she walks into a room and you lose your breath when you see her.
Hello, Jodi. That happened to you as well.
I'll take it and tuck that away for a rainy day when I'm not feeling so good. Thank you. But my mother had asked me many times when I was little if I wanted to do it for school, for the college fund, for later in life. And I don't know what made me change my mind at that age. I think I also had a cousin who did the same thing. She was also blonde-haired, blue-eyed, ridiculously beautiful, and she was a little bit younger than me, and they were doing it for her college fund. And one day I just said, yeah, I'd like to try it. And that's where it all started. And as soon as acting actually happened to me, and as soon as I discovered it, and as soon as my whole life changed. It was the happiest accident that could ever happen to anyone, really.
I mean, to do modelling at such a young age, obviously you had the support of your family and your parents. Is it important for aspiring entertainers to have the support of family? If so, how important is it to have family behind you?
It's important to have some kind of force behind you that keeps you level-headed and grounded. And I got my work ethic from my family, for sure. And I think that's the most important lesson that I got from all of it, was that when you say you're going to do a job, you then show up and you do your job. And you show up and you give 100% of whatever you can that particular day. And I'm always on time. I'm actually a little neurotic. I'm usually early. So deeply ingrained in me that I need to be on time and I need to finish what I've started and do what I've said I'm going to do. So that's really important.
And being an actress, one of the things that comes with that is being a celebrity. And when you're a celebrity, you have a lot of followers and fans. So who would you say you look up to and inspires you? Because you inspire other people. So who inspires Jodi?
Oh my God. Growing up, I watched old movies with my grandfather. So my big inspiration was Natalie Wood. And I never thought, from those small years watching black and white movies with my grandpa, I never made any kind of connection where I could do that or that could be me at some point, where I could be on the screen. The phrase that comes to mind is when I heard suspension of disbelief, when you can suspend your disbelief for an hour and live in someone else's world, and it's like that quality of your troubles going away for a little while and you can be entertained. It made so much sense to me, and then the fact that that's what I now get to do and that's my job is the biggest blessing.
And not just being an actress, you're also a designer. You've got your jewellery line and your clothing line. Which one would you say gives you more of a creative outlet, designing or acting?
They're so different. when I design, I don't have to ask anyone's permission. So I don't have to get approval from a writer or a director or a producer, which is what I do in my job. It's a collaboration. With my jewelry, there's no collaboration at all. It's in my brain. I sketch it, and then I have a 3D image made from my sketch, and then a mold is shot. And I quite literally don't have to ask anyone how they think or feel about it. And it's really been liberating for me, because I'm constantly concerned with everything that's going on around me. And when it comes to my jewelry, it's in my head, and then someone hands it to me and they put it in the palm of my hand. And to have something manifest that way it's everything. I obviously don't do it to make any money. I obviously do it just for that feeling. So as long as I can, I'll do that.
Are you currently wearing the jewelry now?
I am always wearing my jewelry. Thank you.
Where did you get the ideas from? Is it something maybe you're taking a walk and you see something, you're inspired by what you see around you?
I'm inspired by everything. And then, of course, my entire wardrobe, my friends make terrible fun of me because if I'm not wearing black, I'm wearing denim. So most of my pieces have black incorporated somehow, and then they're slightly off, which I feel that way about myself a lot. So all the stones in my pieces are upside down. So they're all kind of turned the wrong way, which is how I feel about me, but I'm comfortable with that. So
it's interesting that you brought up the whole black thing. I was going to say that's like the signature color, the dark hair, the dark clothes.
It just makes me happy. I mean, like the same way blue makes other people happy.
Yeah.
When I see a great black dress or a really fabulous red lipstick, I'm happy. Yeah. But it's what I love. It's my signature. That's pretty nice.
You've done quite a lot of your career so far. So what would you say will be next? Reality shows or theatre? Would you ever try doing any of that?
I would like to do that, actually. I'd love to see what happens with a reality TV show and myself, whether I'm on it or I'm behind the camera. It would be really nice to try. Theatre has never been something I've wanted to do, but I'm not really sure why. I think it's been the drive for me to work and be able to buy groceries and pay my rent and things like that. And back when I started in New York, there was no way that I was going to be able to do theater and support myself. So I can remember early on thinking, I've got to find something else.
Yeah.
Theater is a luxury. That's how it felt to me. So I guess I've never revisited the fact that maybe now I could actually do it. I don't know.
Yeah. And what would you say is a fun fact about you that not many people know?
Fun fact. Oh, I can't tell my left from my right at all.
Me too.
No,
I have to look at my hands like L. Yeah.
But I do that, and I'm also dyslexic, so sometimes it flips, so I'm not really sure which one's the L.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm right half the time.
Yeah.
So that's the good news.
Do you have any upcoming jewelry designs you got planned, or TV, film shows you got?
I'm doing the costume version of all of my pieces right now. I'm working on that, and then I'm doing new sketches. And TV, I actually can't tell you, which is
fine.
amazing, because I'm so excited for you to find out what it's going to be. But
I have no idea what it might be, but I'm not sure. That's my next question.
There are two things that I'm not allowed to talk about, and and I'm also terrible at keeping a secret. So that's the best I can do right there.
Okay. It doesn't have anything to do with Gretchen, does it?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
Do you have any advice for any aspiring actresses out there?
Yeah, be prepared to spend a lot of time waiting around. It's a game of hurry up and wait, and be ready to be on your feet for more hours than you think are humanly possible. And I don't know, if it's something that you love, don't let it go. That's all there is to it. Things are going to be really difficult because it's one of the hardest industries in the world. I think there's 6% of us that work. That statistic scares the crap out of me. So then there will be periods where maybe you'll get lucky for a little while and you'll do some great work, or you'll have a lucky streak, and then all of a sudden there'll be nothing, and it can stretch from 6 months to 2 years. It's really up and down. So you just, I guess, develop a thick skin and strong shoulders and a strong sense of yourself.
Do you think it's who you know in the industry? Because you didn't go to like an acting school, did you? You went to a normal school. So how, do you think it is kind of who you know, or does it help go?
Well, in my case, I didn't know anyone, so I'm not really sure how helpful that can be. I think it's the connections that you make. I think it's learning your craft.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely, you have to continue every single time you fall on your face, you have to get back up and just go again. And that's the bottom line. You just can't ever give up on it. You have to have so many failures before you actually succeed. For me, it's how I figured out who I was. I didn't know who I was until I did what I do. So I wasn't sure who I was as a person, and it was much easier for me to be anyone else. And throughout the years, then I figured out who I was, and through all of the failures and all of the misfires and all of that. So,
words to live by. Thank you so much. And then my last question is, Jodi Lyn O'Keefe is?
Chipper.
Thank you so much, Jodi. Thank you for your time. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much, Jodi.
Thank you.
Soldiers, no mercy for the